Hi, welcome back to the channel and another Wargaming whistle stop. This time we're dealing with the letter C. Of course, there have been many famous actions, battles, characters linked to this letter over the course of history. Things such as the Battle of Caen 1944 in the Normandy campaign, Crete in 1941, Colenso 1899, Culloden 1746, and going back even further, Cannae 216 BC. But for me, the one that's always been a favourite of mine is the Battle of Chancellorsville 1863 in the American Civil War. Jackson's famous and last action of the war, a Confederate victory against all the odds, but the Army of Northern Virginia's greatest loss in losing Thomas Jackson to friendly fire during what was an amazing action. So I just wanted to give you some pointers, some of the games, books, references that I've related to with this particular battle. That is one of my favourites, and hope again it sparks some interest for you to go away and do a bit of research or find out a little bit more. So if we start with reading material, probably the book that I would reference most as far as covering off the Chancellorsville battle is that by Stephen Sears, famous American Civil War author. His book Chancellorsville is really detailed, excellent maps, really detailed account of the full background and the action itself and the aftermath. So that would be certainly my first port of call. A slightly older book, not so readily available these days, is one of the Time Life series, Rebels Resurgent, which again does cover elements of that Chancellorsville campaign. They're great books, the Time Life American Civil War books, so if you do find any, they're well worth purchasing. And Commanders of Chancellorsville by Edward G. Longacre, one recommended by one of my friends, not one I've read myself, but again highly recommended as a reference. In terms of games or board games, there are a number over the years, but for me one of the most recent ones really scratches my itch in terms of playing the Chancellorsville campaign as opposed to the battle, and that is Chancellorsville 1863 by Worthington Games, which was released I believe in the end of 2019. Maurice Suckling has produced for me one of the best Worthington games I've ever played. The mechanics of the game are superb. It has a brilliant solitaire bot, so you can actually play this game against an artificial intelligence. It's simple, it's elegant, the production values are brilliant, and I would highly recommend it to anybody with an interest in this battle who maybe would like to play it other than as a war game per se, with figures, etc. In terms of figures and war games ranges, Chancellorsville American Civil War ranges are vast. We've covered them before. Talking specifically about the ones that I have used over the years, obviously Bacchus for 6mm, Pendraken for 10mm, and Perry's for 28mm, both plastic and metals. But there are many companies out there producing superb American Civil War ranges. You just type it in on the internet and the world's your oyster, really. You can find lots of options from that point of view. Likewise with American Civil War rules, to allow you to play these games on the tabletop. As I've already said on my other videos, and there is a review on Altar of Freedom by Greg Wagman. That for me is a superb set of rules that allows you to play scenarios of famous battles. So certainly I would be recommending that. But of course you've got other options such as Black Powder, Fire and Fury, etc. as well. If you just want to get a bit of a flavour of the battle without investing funds up front, you may want to try and see if you can watch or stream a copy of Gods and Generals. It was the film made after the Gettysburg film many years ago now. It's not the greatest film, but it is, for me, you know, those two films still really get the juices flowing in terms of the American Civil War and giving you a feel for how those battles were played out. And you know, the production values of those films are very, very good. So Gods and Generals does feature Chancellorsville in it, so would highly recommend watching that. But there are plenty of other areas you can refer back to get a bit more of a flavour of the battle. So on YouTube, I'm just going to read my notes here. If you want a brief overview, look for You Will Love History, 1863 Battle of Chancellorsville. Gives a very swift, brief overview of the battle. And if you want something else a little bit more detailed, the Battle of Chancellorsville by Rebel Rally Point. Again, that's a nice in-depth look at the battle as well. Same with websites. Battlefields.org for me is probably one of the best references. The American Battlefields site. Just type in Chancellorsville and there is a wealth of information on there. So that's the equivalent of the American Battlefields Trust. Obviously we've got the UK Battlefields Trust, which I'm a member, but this is the American Battlefields Trust. Well worth visiting their site. There's lots of information on there, and again a really good reference from that point of view. So these videos are meant to be short, sharp and to the point. I hope that's given you some ideas to go out and find a bit more about the Battle of Chancellorsville, whether that be reading, playing or just general research. And I look forward to seeing you again at a next Wargamers Whistle Stop video. Bye for now.